No, you got it. You got it. I'm not gonna. You said. That's what you got. My man. Been there for 10 years.
At halftime, you guys have a 1-point lead, and they'd really pushed you guys. What was said at halftime? How did you guys address that?
We just need to raise our level of intensity. You know, we came out there, it's kind of like lackadaisical in the first half. You know, turning the ball over, defensively not pressuring them like we wanted to. They was getting way too many easy buckets. You know, we got to give a lot of credit to them because, you know, they came ready to play. They play really hard, offensively and defensively. So we just had to tune some things up at halftime and come out playing harder.
Feel like the second half finally started to turn for you?
I think we were able to string a few stops together, get a few buckets, and I think it was right after the first war. But, you know, that was just from us, you know, like I said, raising our level of intensity, playing harder. Offensive rebounds, we got some of those early in the first half, which we didn't have many in the second half. We didn't have many in the first half. So that was huge for us.
Can you talk about just all the threes you're knocking down recently? Because they seem to be going in for you. It looks like you're getting back that momentum that you had in the Purdue game last year in the Big Ten tournament. Of course, do you feel like you're really hitting your stride right now? And talk about your confidence in knocking down those outside shots as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's been feeling good. You know, it helps when, you know, you have teammates that, you know, believe in you and have confidence in you, coaches that want you to shoot the ball. So, you know, just getting back into this rhythm has been nice. You know, seeing some go through the net, and you know, I'm just gonna keep working on it, keep getting reps up, and keep shooting it.
And you guys were really excited to see Justin. You know, he had like 10 straight points there in one stretch, and you guys were all excited, you know, on the bench as well for him. What's it do for you guys' team when he's hitting those threes as well as we know that he can?
It opens up a lot for us. You know, teams can't really double when he's hitting because if they leave him, you know, we're just gonna throw it back out and he's gonna hit. So, you know, it's good when he's shooting and he's shooting it well. Especially tonight, he was hitting everything, and you know, I'm proud of him. I'm glad that he was hitting it. And just keep shooting. We've been telling him to shoot it. If he's open if he's a little bit open, shoot it. Like, you know, he's one of the best shooters in the Big Ten, so in the country. So shoot it.
When you two are on the floor together, how do you guys kind of complement each other? Because I don't know if you'd have looked at what you guys' skill sets are when you both got here and thought, oh, yeah, those two guys should be on the floor together. So how do you guys kind of complement each other out there?
I mean, you know, we both low post guys most of the time. In my career, I've been mainly low post, but recently, you know, trying to get out on the arc a little bit, spread teams out. And he's so good down low. We want to keep him down there. We want to keep him posting, you know, almost the whole possession. So, you know, just letting him work down low, trying to get him as many open looks as possible. You know, it really helps our team, especially the way he rebounded the ball tonight, too. I was telling him it's huge for us. You know, it's going to help us take that extra step that we need. So, yeah.
You were taking some guys off the dribble today. I think you dribbled to your legs once, which kind of caught me off guard. Can you just elaborate just on that, the expansion of your game? And you're not a perimeter player, but obviously you've shown that you can do some perimeter stuff when needed be.
Yeah, I mean, just feeling good, stuff I've worked on. Long summer, you know, putting together a lot of days, a lot of hours, just working on things that, you know, I consider my weaknesses before, which, you know, I was always, you know, just defensive minded, you know, getting rebounds, stuff like that. I wanted to expand my offensive game a little bit. So I was working on a lot of ball handling and a lot of shooting as well. So just seeing it pay off a little bit is nice. You know, got to continue working and hopefully, you know, keep making strides in those areas.
Kyle, where did the motivation to expand your game in those ways come from?
I mean, just wanted to get better. You know, last year, just having a few of those games where I was able to showcase, you know, a little bit of that, especially at the end of the year against Purdue. You know, just, you know, made me want to work on those things that much more. So just kind of really focused on it this summer. And like I said, it really helps when you have teammates and coaches that, you know, really put, you know, confidence in you and, you know, want you to shoot the ball, want you to make plays like that. So, yeah.
For either of you, you guys have games like the second half against Duke, some of these games where you guys look like world beaters. Tonight, that first half, I mean, how do you explain kind of the juxtaposition of, you know, the level of opponent and maybe playing down or up to that opponent?
We were talking about that as a team, you know, coming out slow a little bit and, you know, giving teams like hope that they are light, that they can come in and and play with us. So I think we just got to get better as a team. Coming out from the jump, on our horse and just keep going. We definitely got to get better at that as a team. So I think we're gonna work on that.
So it's obvious. It's weird playing lots of late night tip-offs in the middle of the week, sometimes against a non-conference team. I mean, I know you guys had to create your own juice a lot last year because you were in empty arenas. Is that a conscious thought where you guys are thinking to yourself like, hey, we got to figure out a way to create our own energy because it's late, the crowd might not be as into it on a night like this. I mean, is that something that consciously goes through your head at all?
I think it may be a little bit. The fans are hype anyway. The Buckeye Nation was there tonight, so we had energy from them. But, coming from last year, like we had to create our own energy because there was no fans really. So, I think that speaks on our culture and like how we're just always happy for everybody. And whenever something good happens, we're always cheering. So, we always have energy on the bench, cheering, and, the fans just give us an extra boost.
Kyle, on your side, man, the choice to come back for this year,
Mhm.
now you're 10 games in, right?
Yeah.
I know you're enjoying the season and you've got a little bit of a body of work to go off of here, but is this living up to what you hoped it would now that you're, a good 5-6 weeks into the season?
Yeah, I mean, coming into this season, we knew we had some young guys and then we had a lot of old guys, a lot of experience. So, it's just really about building that chemistry, bringing those younger guys along. And we've had some like games early in the season that are really going to help us later on in the season because they've been close down to the wire. We've learned a lot from them. So, yeah, I would say it's living up, to the hype or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we got a lot of room to go. Just got it, one day at a time. That's what I always say. Continue to bring those younger guys along, and as older guys, share those experiences with them as well.
How are you feeling?
Good. I mean, I'm feeling, almost back to 100%. Just still, little things here and there, but for the most part, my body feels good. No leg problems, nothing like that. So feeling good.
Kyle, obviously, you're not used to coming off the bench for this team, and
Uh-huh.
I'm curious. Does your mindset change? Especially, it seems like depending on the situation in a game. I mean, you're kind of molding yourself into what Ohio State needs at that moment, whether it's a defensive presence in the paint, an offensive guy from three.
Mhm.
Do you feel like this role that you're in currently is kind of expanding your versatility a little bit, or how do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of hit on it because it's not something I think about though. Like not starting. It's just just want to be able to give the team whatever I can in the moment. So just kind of what you hit on. So when my number is called, coach knows I'm going to go out there and give him 110% every time. And coming off the bench, already seeing the guys play like the first war or whatever it is. It kind of gives me that time to see how the game's going. What we need to improve on. After that first war. So it's not something I think about. I'm just going to give coach whatever he needs when I go into the game.
Is it different when you're like, because tonight it wasn't as much as of a paint issue. It was more of, okay, I'm going to take control offensively. I'm going to kind of beat them from deep. I'm going to continue just to be that physical presence, like offensively. I mean, was that a mindset shift, or is it just kind of how the game came to you tonight?
Yeah, it's just going with the flow. Taking what they're giving me. So I was seeing a few different times. There was big driving lanes, so just hitting those gaps. And that's credited to our offensive spacing. Zed sealing people, all that. And then there, the times I was open at three, I was just I'm shooting them. So feeling confident there too. So just taking what was open and not really forcing anything, just letting the game come to me.
That's going to be the last question, guys. Coach is on his way. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Listen, good team we played. Give Towson a lot of credit. I think they're a good team. I think they're going to have a really good season. I think they're as good as any really mid-major team we played here in our 4 years. And we got some things we got to work on, but I give our guys credit. I thought we played with more just force and energy in the second half, and we needed to. Questions?
In the first half, did you feel you were getting your best shot, or were guys settling?
We were settling a little bit too much. Yeah, I think we were settling too much. I think we can get a little three happy at times for sure because we got guys that can make threes. We can be a little too finesse, and I just think that's a thing we got to constantly work on.
Was this a night where you saw some benefit then from having a player like Zed? Because it seemed like at times you were able to force it into him down low, and he got you some buckets when things were getting tough.
Yeah, he did. Zed, you're saying? Yeah, no, he really did. I thought he came in and gave us great. I thought he gave us great lift tonight. Especially in the first half, he really kept it kind of a 1 or 2 possession game. Had some great finishes, and he's benefited from the shooting that's around him because it's a lot of one-on-one coverage.
And with Malachi, there was a stretch where he drove the basket a couple times.
Yeah.
Did you challenge him to do that? Did he read the
Yes.
game and see that, or what did you see in that moment?
He's got to do that more. He's a slight kid, good length, but he's just slight right now. He's a baby, so physically he's just, you can bump him off a spot. So he's got to play with more force. He did that in the second half early, and it was critical for us. He's got to rebound the ball better. I thought those 2 things he did in the second half really, really well.
Coach, that late stretch from Justin when he had like 10 straight points, 3 straight threes in that 4-point play, how important was that for you guys, and how good did it feel to see Justin hit those shots?
Yeah, I mean, Justin's shooting has been phenomenal. It's just been phenomenal. He's really had a good year. He's really had a good year for us. I know there's been, a game or 2 where he wasn't his best, but he's really had a good year, and he's just got to keep getting better.
And I think 34 points now in the last 2 games for Kyle, and 6 for 6 from 3 from him. I know you've said multiple times that he's one of your guys' best 3-point shooters in practice, but another game where he's knocking those shots down. Just how big was that for you guys again?
Yeah, it's another, and they really, their defense is good. They really gap you up. I thought, Kyle, time and space, he really shoots the ball well. He can really make threes. And I thought also he drove it at times tonight, which was really critical.
Speaking of Justin, have you talked to him post-game? How's he doing?
He's fine. Yeah, I think health-wise, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. I think he just got popped on a drive, but he's fine.
In terms of Kyle, just curious what you like most about 18 points, 24 minutes. He's obviously efficient. What about his game tonight stood out to you? Hey, that's what he wants.
I thought he was really active in the second half. I did not think he was active in the first half. He made a 3, but I just didn't think he was his normal active self. In the second half, I thought that he was the Kyle we know, driving it, rebounding it. He played 10 minutes the first half, didn't have a rebound. That's not the Kyle we know. The second half was who we know.
Maybe sounding dumb here. You shot 56% in the first half, and it's 33 to 32. I don't know if those numbers necessarily add up when you shoot that well, and you're saying that you guys didn't necessarily have the best shot selection. How do you explain that?
They got to the free throw line a few more times. I think they might have made 1 or 2 more threes. So in a 20-minute game, which is what that is, and I think they had a few more offensive rebounds. So they had a few more shots. So in a game that's like that, where we're shooting it better than they are, that can offensive rebounds, extra shots, turnovers, and free throw attempts. If they have a little bit of an edge there, it can keep it close. And it was
EJ, I know he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot, but 7 turnovers tonight.
He's got to turn over less. He's got to take better care of the ball. Bottom line, he's got to take better care of the ball. The ball's in his hands a lot. He's got to do a better job taking. He's got to be more sure with it, strong with it. It gets knocked loose from his hands too much. He's got to get better in that area.
Chris, obviously Kyle's playing starters minutes, but he's not. I mean, he's coming off the bench really for the first time since his sophomore year, and I'm curious about his versatility, how important that is, especially with him coming in just in different situations over the course of, in in gameplay really. And have you seen him develop a versatility in this role, or how important is that?
I think he's always been versatile. I think his shooting has increased his versatility now because he can now guard different positions, and play multiple positions offensively. He's not as one-dimensional as he was early in his career, where he was really a rim runner and long post guy and layup maker. Well, now he's a three-point shooter. I think his versatility defensively has always been something we've really liked. He can guard bigger guys. He can guard smaller guys, even though he's not super long. Listen, he's a really good player. It's why every time he's out, we miss him. And we had a pretty big game last year where we missed him. He's a really good player. He provides a lot for us.
What do you feel like will his role increase when it comes to Big Ten play? Will he only get more important as the season goes on, or how do you see him?
It's hard to see in the future. I think he's going to continue to play an important role. That's what I would say, whatever that looks like.
Got into the double bonus with like about 6-7 minutes left in the second half. When that happens so early in the game, how much does that change maybe the way you approach your offense?
It says we're attacking more, and we were not in the first half, and we were in the second half. And that's and they're a team that can be a little foul prone. So it was critical for us to be able to get to the foul line and get there earlier. And then we made our free throws for the most part tonight, which was great to see from our guys.
Like 12-0 or whatever, and they called timeout. What were you saying to your guys in a timeout like that when it's not going to go that easily all game?
Yeah, I watched him too much. I've watched his team too much to know that wasn't going to be the case. They've got a really competitive group. So we were just really talking about winning the next possession. I knew that they're too good. They're a talented mid-major, and they're really a competitive group. They're well coached. So I figured, they were going to come back with some bite, and they did.
Is it hard to get that message across sometimes when things are going well? And I mean, I don't know. I feel like sometimes maybe a team might tune something like that out.
Yeah, maybe. But I think, and I give EJ and Justin and Kyle, Jamari a lot of credit because I think they had a real healthy, honest respect, as they should for this Towson team. And the moment you don't, so I don't think that they, looked at that 12-0 run and said, hey, this is what it's going to be like the whole game. I think they knew that they were going to need to play well and play well in stretches. And, we played poorly at times. I think our energy picked up in the second half as it needed to, but again, give them credit.
Cedric watched the second half in a t-shirt. Was he available or did something happen to him?
No, he was at his normal uniform on. Yeah.
I thought I saw him in a t-shirt.
Yeah. No, it was normal attire.
Kyle told us that this summer, especially, he worked on the different parts of his game, handling the ball a bit more, obviously the shooting. Was there ever a conversation you had with him about expanding the game beyond what he was doing for you guys the first 3 years or so he was here?
Yeah, we always wanted him to extend his perimeter game a little bit, which includes shooting and ball handling. We've been on him to do that really the last couple years. So, I think that's always been something that we've tried to do and help develop with our guys. He's bought into that, and he's gotten better every year with it.
With respect to every opponent, you have games like the second half against Duke, where you guys look like you can't be stopped. You have the first half today, the second half tonight. I mean, the first game of the season. How do you explain kind of the juxtaposition of this team? Is this just the learning process of new guys and some young guys and whatnot, or is it more than that?
Oh, I think it's the natural progression of most every team in college basketball, really, to be honest with you. I don't think that's unique to us. I think every team has maybe some teams are a little bit more of a finished product right now than we are, but we're very much a work in progress. But I also think it's the natural progression for most teams in college basketball that you're going to have stretches of games and moments in games where you don't look your best, and then you're going to have moments in games where you've got to raise your level of play. And I thought we did that. And, certainly the energy in the building was different tonight than it was last week, but it's incumbent upon us to be consistent with our energy and our approach. And that's on me. I don't think we were that way enough tonight. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.